You know they weren't good for you. You know they confused you. They drained you. They disappointed you. They made you question yourself. And yet, you still miss them. That's the part nobody wants to admit, because it feels embarrassing. How can you miss someone who didn't give you peace? How can you still think about someone who made you feel so unsure? How can your mind want someone your heart knows wasn't right? But missing someone doesn't always mean they were good for you. Sometimes it means your nervous system got attached to the pattern. The highs, the lows, the waiting, the hoping, the small moments of attention that felt bigger than they should have. When someone is inconsistent, your brain doesn't relax. It starts chasing certainty. And every time they finally give you attention, it feels powerful. Not because it's healthy, but because it brings relief. That relief can feel like love, but it isn't always love. Sometimes it's just your anxiety calming down for a few minutes. This is why emotionally confusing people can be so hard to forget. They don't give you stability. They give you intensity. And intensity leaves a strong memory. You remember the moments when they were warm, when they made you laugh, when they made you feel chosen. But your mind often forgets how many times you felt ignored, how many times you waited, how many times you felt small. That's the trap. Your brain edits the story. It replays the best parts and softens the painful ones. So you don't miss the whole person. You miss the version of them you kept hoping they would become. Let that sink in. You may not miss reality. You may miss potential. The idea. The fantasy. The moments that almost felt real enough to believe in. And that is what makes it hurt. Because you're not just losing a person. You're losing the future you imagined with them. The conversations that never happened. The apology they never gave. The change you kept waiting for. The version of them that only existed in small glimpses. That kind of loss is confusing. Because how do you grieve something that was never fully real? This is why moving on can feel harder than people expect. You're not only detaching from someone, you're detaching from hope. And hope is addictive. Hope says, maybe they'll understand one day. Maybe they'll come back different. Maybe this time it will finally make sense. But sometimes, hope keeps you tied to a place that already hurt you. Here's the painful truth. You can miss someone and still know they should not return. Both can be true. You can feel sad and still choose distance. You can miss their voice and still protect your peace. You can remember the good moments and still admit the pattern was harmful. Missing them is not proof that you made the wrong decision. It's proof that attachment takes time to fade. And attachment is not logic. It doesn't disappear just because you understand the truth. That's why healing feels slow. Your mind may understand, but your body still remembers. The excitement, the uncertainty, the waiting. So be patient with yourself. Don't shame yourself for missing someone who hurt you. That shame only keeps you stuck. Instead, ask yourself, do I miss who they were, or do I miss who I wanted them to be? That question can change everything. Because once you separate the person from the fantasy, you start seeing clearly. You stop romanticizing confusion. You stop calling anxiety chemistry. You stop mistaking inconsistency for passion. And slowly, you begin to want peace more than intensity. That is when healing begins. Not when you stop missing them completely, but when missing them no longer controls your choices. If this video resonated with you, remember this: you can miss someone and still know they were not good for you. And sometimes the strongest thing you can do is not go back to the thing your heart is still healing from. If you enjoyed this video, kindly give it a thumbs up and subscribe. For additional videos, explore our channel.